Well, we're locked into preparing for Northwestern. Yesterday was a big recovery day for some, and at the same time a day to get better and spend time improving our skills, especially on some of the guys that don't get to play a lot, and then really diving into the film. And the players have shown great resolve all year long on going on to the next thing, preparing for the next game, and proud of the way they've done that. They don't get ahead of themselves. We don't stay in the past too long, and they don't jump into the future. I mean, they do a really good job of coming in here every day and maxing it out, you know, whether it's recovery and then guys just shoot, or whether it's guys really getting better at the skill things that have to be done. Today will be more of a full practice before we leave. As far as Northwestern, it was coming all year. I don't think there's any question. This league, it's hard to get any traction, and they've certainly gotten some, but it's been coming because they've been so close in so many games. You go back to the Maryland game where they were up 18 in that game on the road and lose really with a second to go. They've been in so many games, came down to one or two possessions, and they're extremely well coached with Chris Collins. There's no doubt. He's got a tremendous staff led by Brian James, who's a tremendous coach. And so they're developing their players, and the younger guys are getting a lot better. The older guys are improving, and they're playing with great confidence. Numbers-wise, in the last three games, they're shooting over 44% from three, which is a big jump from where they were at. They've cut down the opponent's trips to the foul line. Their field goal percentage defense, three-point and regular, is much better. And they're playing with great confidence. They're shooting the ball, really, when you look at it, as well as anybody. And they've always had the shooters and the ability to space, because what they have that a lot of teams don't have is they have a five-man that they can go to, but they can also play through him. And that's when you have that in this league, you're unique. And just look at Wisconsin and the way that they play with Frank Kaminsky. And Alex Ola can do a lot of different things. He can set the offense from the top. He can get it in dribble handoffs. He can shoot from three. Certainly he can score at the post. They can play through him in the low post. And you know, he maneuvers the defense in the middle of the zone. So they're going to be a extremely tough challenge. They always were going to be. And so Northwestern is very hard to play. And they're extremely hard to play in their building. And it's going to be that much harder because they're playing with all this confidence that they have right now. So our guys have got to continue to have that resolve. They've got to continue to go in and understand what we need to take away, what we need to try to get. And it comes back to our defensive rebounding, our transition defense, taking care of the ball to a pretty good degree in trying to get the pace of the game going the right way, but at the same time, you know, being aggressive in our attack. So, go ahead, Mike.
I guess what is it about their zone and how you map up that?
As far as their zone defense? Well, we've seen zone defenses throughout the year. I don't think our guys are going to get squeamish at that. I mean, that just, the potential for more open jump shots is there. So the key for us is to get good movement. And there's different places that we feel we can attack in that zone, but the bottom line is the ball's got to move no matter what it is. And their zone is if they play it, it's more of a 2-3. And for the most part, looks like it's based on the Syracuse zone. And the way Michigan is playing their zone right now, we expect to see trapping. We expect to see trapping on the baseline. And our job is just to keep making sure that we're moving the ball the best way possible.
You talked a little bit about this, but with the improvement with the pregame winning streak, are they doing things better now? A lot of different things, or are they maybe just getting over the hump a little bit more?
Probably everything. I think that the stats, or the shooting stats, are glaring. The shots that they're making and the field goal percentage defense that they have, and the fact that they're not putting people at the foul line. And I think that's a big part of it. And so they haven't been losing games because of free throw attempts. So I've read all the comments that Chris made, you know, where they made the changes after the Michigan State game. Michigan State was very aggressive with them, very physical, and they made some changes after that and have gone primarily to – but, I mean, we get ready for everything. I mean, we could see different defenses. We could see man-to-man. I don't think it's anything do we look at and say, well, they'll just play us this one way? But our bottom line is more understanding their personnel and doing what we have to do to keep moving the ball. They've got very good personnel. Brian McIntosh is playing outstanding, and there's no doubt about it. We've always liked Brian. I mean, he's an excellent player, and Trey Dempsey is playing right now with the speed and accuracy and taking the initiative as good as any guard in the league. And we've already talked about Alex Ola. Vic Law's coming off his best game. So Gavin Skelly has been a force for them. And now Taphorn is healthy, and he's shooting the ball at a very high rate. So they can put literally 5 shooters on the floor at times, really no less than 4. And I think that's what gives them such an advantage right now, too. Pete?
As you get to this part of the year, you get to the postseason, how much do you adjust practice in terms of intensity? You go from short and intense to longer, and then how much maybe you modify that during the coaching?
Oh, I think I modified it quite a bit during the coaching career. No question about that. But every team's different. And last week, we needed to get back to getting up and down the court a little bit. And I think there's a balancing act. And you got to really, you can't get too far ahead of yourself as a coach either. You can have a plan for that week or for the next couple of days, but you've got to be able to adjust it. And we needed to get back up and down and shorten the shot clock type of things, bring the speed full court back to us a little bit. After the Purdue game, we did that, but again, we weren't on the court very long. So I think there's different times when we're working on the court in any type of 1-on-1 to 5-on-5 situation. It's going to be live, it's going to be intense, it's going to be fast. But there's also times to be in a walkthrough mode, especially defensively. And so that's a part of it too. But anything else that we do, shooting, we're never just out there to shoot. There's a speed element, there's a time and score element to it. There's the type of shots that you're getting, and again, we never say this all the time, but I think it's true. And I think this is the other part of coaching that I've continued to grow in, is we're never going to get away from the skill development inside of the practices. When I was at Marquette and even early on here, we would do more of the skill development inside of individual instruction workouts. Well, make sure that we never get away from that in practice and even on game day. That's another modification that we've made this year. We spend time inside of that walkthrough and of really putting the cones out, driving through the pads, the driving moves, the shooting, the reading the cuts, the back cuts, all those type of things, so that everybody's working on the left hand. This guy dunk everything, this guy don't dunk anything, just continue, mixing it up every day to keep challenging them to improve in areas. So I think we have a good handle on that every day, what they need to improve upon. Now, can we make substantial improvement on that in practice? You hope so, but you hope you really see it over a period of time. And I think we have. Go ahead, Ken. I saw Ken. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Touching on after this game, you don't want to look forward past it, but then you have 6 days off. Is this a good time for you guys to have a little break after you get this?
Well, yes and no. It is what it is. I've never looked at the schedule and viewed it that way. We'll make sure that we get better, no matter what it is. And we're not at a point where I say, wow, we need some rest. Because we have tapered practices back so much over a period of time. And probably really looking at the numbers of live work from from Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning with the walkthrough, we probably went over 3 days, probably about 3 hours and 10 minutes. Maybe I probably adjusted it by 10. I said 3 the other day. It's probably another 10 minutes. Now, film sessions, walkthroughs, that's different, because you're getting a lot out of that too. But everything matters, and we don't have them over here just to have them here, to cover a time allotment. Everything matters for them, and they spend so much time on their own shooting the ball. And I gave guys, outside of some conditioning yesterday, very, very minimal conditioning, just to kind of get the body moving right and get the blood flowing right. Most of them all came back out to shoot. It's just what they do. So that's a good thing inside of it. So we just really monitor every day to get ready for what the next day should bring us. And I don't think that'll change with a 6-day no game break.
I was going to say, can you expand a little bit on Brian
Well, he's always been good. I don't think there's any question. You know, he's really been a very good player, and he's extremely skilled. He's got a great patience and poise to his game. Shoots the ball extremely well. Plays with his head up, and is not fouling. I mean, so he's really not getting beat on defense, and takes big shots, makes big passes, and really appears to me to not predetermine what he's going to do. He just lets the game come to him, and I think that's a really good trait. I mean, he's an excellent player, and we got 2 young freshmen that are pretty good too, in the sense of James and Robert. When you look at guards, but Brian is a very good guard in this league and is going to be for a long time.
You mentioned last night that you guys are so much better with James. It's 5 more rebounds. What's kind of different in his game when he is getting those rebounds?
I think it's just the awareness of getting there constantly. Just the defensive boards, and especially the offensive boards, because with a 3-guard lineup and we really don't send Robert to the glass, we get him back. It's really imperative that James does get there. So I think just when that awareness and he's really moving without the ball, and that shot goes up, and he's aggressive and on it. Okay? All right, thanks.
Can I just ask real quick
Good.
about Collin?
Oh, yeah, there's no update other than he's got a bone bruise in his lower leg. And I should have brought that up right away. I'm sorry, but he's got a bone bruise in his lower leg. It's not his knee, and certainly could have been a lot worse. So we're fortunate there. But as far as for his status, that's uncertain. Okay.